Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this evening's Condo Review Board dated Monday, February 24th, 2025. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting of the Condo Review Board will be conducted via remote participation. We will post an audio recording, audio-video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of these proceedings as soon as possible following the meeting on the City of Somerville's website and local cable access government channels. Morena, if we could please conduct a roll call vote to ensure we have a quorum.
Okay. Chair Zasloff?
Present.
Vice Chair Byrne?
Present.
Board Member Simeon?
Present.
Board Member Solis? Board Member Solis? With Board Member Solis is absent. With 3 in attendance, we have a quorum.
Great. At this time, I will call this evening's meeting to order. First item on this evening's agenda is some administrative business. I believe there's a staff announcement. Morena, are you handling that or?
Yep. I just I'll hand this over to Director Michael Filoni, who's got an announcement to make.
All right.
Thanks, Morena. And just for record purposes, again, my name is Mike Filoni, Housing Director. So thank you for allowing a minute or so for me to join this evening's meeting. I basically just wanted to share directly with members that I am leaving my position in Somerville at the end of the month, which at this point is the end of this week. I let HR and colleagues in OSPCD know around the beginning of the month that I've accepted a position to keep working on housing issues at the state level with the Division of Capital Asset Management and Maintenance to help them expand their work in affordable housing. And I just, since I've had a chance to work with all the members who are on tonight's call so far, I just want to thank you for that opportunity and share that I feel really good about where the work of the Condo Review Board is at this point, especially relative to the time around 10 years ago when I started and there wasn't sort of dedicated staff, and also this membership of members so committed to ordinance enforcement. I know that's not without challenges, but I just wanted to thank everyone here and just let you know directly. Had a chance to I was in a meeting with Kate a couple of weeks ago, so did have a chance. So sorry for the repeat broadcast, Kate, but just wanted to let others know and thank you one more time for all your work on behalf of the Condo Review Board and the city.
Yeah, Director Filoni, it's been about a decade. So yeah, time flies, and you know, I'm sad to see you leave. You will be a great loss for Somerville, but a tremendous addition for the state. And advocating for housing, you're a true champion of equity, inclusion, and housing affordability. And it's been a pleasure working with you. You've been a great asset to myself, and I know you've been a tremendous asset to the city. So you will be truly missed, and you know, big shoes to fill for whoever follows you. You never want to be the person who follows the person, you know, you want to be one removed. So good luck to whoever fills in for you. But yeah, we'll be sad to see you depart.
Thank you very much. And I know information is going to be following up, that Tom Galligani will be following up in terms of information on an acting director that's in the works. And in the meantime, I feel every bit as good about the capacity of the housing staff with colleagues like Joe and Morena as I do about the work of the Condo Review Board. So thanks for those kind words, Hack. And you guys have a full agenda, so I'm going to drop off and get back to some transition related work, and won't take up any more of your time.
Great. Best of luck in all your future endeavors. We'll miss you.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Mike.
much. Thank you all.
Thank
Thanks
you
again.
for all your support.
Thank you very much as well. Okay, bye-bye. Have a
Thank you.
good meeting and a good night.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you. Good luck.
All right, I would just like to take a moment to recognize board member Jennifer Solis has joined the meeting. So if we can add her to the record, is that appropriate, or do we need to do a quick roll call to confirm her attendance?
I can do a quick roll call just to cover. Yeah. Chair Zasloff,
Present.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Present.
Board Member Simeon,
Present.
Board Member Solis. Oh, she was on. We'll try it again when she logs back on.
Okay.
All right.
In the meantime, we'll continue with the next administrative item in front of the board this evening, and that's the meeting minutes from October 2024, November 2024, in the special meeting that we held in November of 2024. At this time, I would ask motion to ask the board if they've had an opportunity to review those meeting minutes, and open the floor if there's any discussion or edits that you would like to call out for the record. All right, seeing no edits or corrections to the meeting minutes for October 2024, November 2024, and November's 2024 special meeting, I will now make a motion for the board to vote on the approval of those meeting minutes.
Okay, this is a vote to approve the meeting minutes for October 2024, November 2024, and the November 2024 special meeting. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
the motion passes.
Very good. Moving along through the agenda, we have new business in front of the board this evening, and the first applications will be for final and or courtesy permits. And that first application the board will review this evening will be the application of 28 Brook Street LLC, Keith Fallon, who's in front of the board this evening seeking a final conversion permit for Unit 1 and Unit 2 at 28 Brook Street.
Mr. Chair, before we proceed, I just want to note that Board Member Solis has joined.
Okay. On that note, can we just conduct a quick roll call vote to
Yep.
record the updated attendance?
Yep. It's 6:13. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Present.
Board Member Simeon,
Present.
Board Member Solis. I see her name. Board Member Solis.
All right, why don't we just continue moving along? And on that note, so I'll restate for the record that we are reviewing the first application for final conversion permit on this evening's agenda, and that is the application 28 Brook Street LLC, Keith Fallon, who's in front of the board this evening seeking a final conversion permit for Units 1 and Unit 2 located at 28 Brook Street.
Hi, this is Keith Fallon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to hear my application. I'm looking for a final conversion permit, as you mentioned. I have submitted the master deed and the report on the condition of the property.
Very good. Thank you. At this time, I will motion to open the floor for board discussion. If any board member has any questions for Mr. Fallon regarding the two final outstanding documents that now conclude this application.
No question.
All right, seeing there's no discussion amongst the board, motion to close the floor and motion to open the public commenting period for 28 Brook Street. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against this final application this evening for 28 Brook Street, units 1 and 2, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
Public commenting is a motion to close public commenting. At this time in reviewing the application, and we do have the two outstanding documents, which concludes all the outstanding items we were awaiting, and that was the master deed and the engineer architect's report. So at this time, I'm comfortable making a motion for the board to vote on the final conversion permits for units 1 and unit 2 located at 28 Brook Street.
Okay, this is a vote for final conversion permits for units 1 and 2 at 28 Brook Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon.
Yes.
The motion passes.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, looks like we have board member Solis back. Do we want to try a roll call vote? Third time's a charm, I have a feeling.
Okay, Chair Zasloff,
Present.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Present.
Board Member Simeon,
Present.
Board Member Solis.
Present, apologies.
At 6:17, we have 4 in attendance.
All right, I knew the third time would work. Great. That increases the quorum to 4 present board members, and we will move on to the next item on this evening's agenda under the final and or courtesy permit section, and that is the application of 14-16 High Street LLC. Wilner Alexis, who's in front of the board this evening seeking a final conversion permits for units 1 and 2 located at 14-16 High Street.
If the representative could please raise their virtual hand. There we go.
Good evening, board members. Mark Sheen of Adam Dash and Associates, attorney for 14 through 16 High Street LLC of 14 through 16 High Street in Somerville. My client is seeking a final conversion permit for units 1 and 2 of this multifamily residence. My client purchased the property vacant and has remained that way since the closing date. My client has submitted the remaining 2 items required by the board, which were a master deed and a property condition report. So now the board has a complete application. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Attorney Sheehan. On that note, I will motion to open the floor for board discussion. If any board members have any questions for the representative regarding the 2 final documents that have been submitted.
No question.
Question.
All right, seeing no discussion regarding the final 2 documents, motion to close the floor for board discussion and motion to open the floor for public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the application at 14-16 High Street for units 1 and 2, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right, motion to close the public commenting. In reviewing the documents, everything is in good order. One item I would like to note, just for the record, that the permit for Unit 2 will not be effective until February 26th due to the 1-year notice period, which I believe the attorney and his clients are aware of, as it's been previously communicated by city staff. So on that note, I will motion for the board to vote on the final conversion permit for units 1 and 2 located at 14-16 High Street.
Okay, this is a vote for final conversion permits for units 1 and 2 at 14-16 High Street. Chair Zaslav,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Have a good night. Looks like Attorney Sheehan's in front of us on the next agenda item. Moving through the agenda, we are now on to the preliminary condo conversion permits. And that first application is 11 MacArthur Street LLC, Kevin Brett, who's seeking a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for Unit A and a courtesy permit for Unit B at 11 MacArthur Street.
Yes, thank you. Mark Sheen of Adam Dash and Associates, attorney for 11 MacArthur LLC of 11 MacArthur Street in Somerville. My client is seeking a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for Unit A and a courtesy permit for Unit B of this multifamily residence. The property was a single-family residence that was owner-occupied prior to my client purchasing it, and the property has remained vacant since the closing date. We have submitted the application along with a paid final water bill, certificate of good standing, owner occupancy affidavit from the prior owner, proof of residential exemption, building permit for the newly constructed Unit B, and a bank check payable to the city of Somerville for $600. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. On that note, I will make a motion to open the floor for board discussion. If there's any commentary, questions around the application of 11 MacArthur Street.
No question.
Okay, seeing there's no board discussion, motion to close the floor and motion to open the public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the application of 11 MacArthur Street, Unit A and Unit B, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right. Public commenting period is now closed. In reviewing the application, there is no waiting period. There is the residential exemption due to the units being vacant. We have the certificate of good standing dated February 11th. We have a final water bill paid dated February 10th. We have the quitclaim deed in hand, and we have a check in the amount of $600. At this time, we are still awaiting a master deed and engineer's report. So this will be a vote for a conditional approval. And on that note, I am prepared to make a motion for the board to vote on a preliminary non-rental conversion permits for units A and a courtesy permit for Unit B located at 11 MacArthur Street on the condition that the master deed and engineer's report is submitted to the city staff at a future date.
Okay, this is a vote for preliminary non-rental conversion permit for Unit A and a courtesy permit for Unit B at 11 MacArthur Street, conditioned as Chair Zaslav just stated. Chair Zaslav,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you, board members.
Have a great night. Thank you.
You as well.
All right, as we continue to move through this evening's agenda, the next item in front of the board this evening is 37 Kingston Street, and that's the application North American Development LLC, Jason Santana. Mr. Santana is seeking a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for Unit 1 at 37 Kingston Street.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. So my name is Mariana. I'm here on behalf of North America Development LLC to present the condo conversion permit for 37 Kingston. The property, a single family home, was purchased vacant in November 2024, and has remained unoccupied since then. And before it became vacant, it was owner occupied. I'm happy to address any questions you may have. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
At this time, I will motion to open the floor for board discussion. If any board members have any questions for the representative?
And mine's just a curiosity. There's two different people whose names are as the purchasers, and so it's not clear to me who actually purchased the building. One is Jason Santana, and then the other one is
Nimar.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So Nimar is actually the owner. He's the one who provided the letter stating that the house is unoccupied and that he purchased the house vacant. And North America Development and Jason Santana, we are the company managing the project. We are adding 2 new units. We will be applying for the courtesy permit for these 2 units, but we are waiting for the permit approval.
And how many units is it?
So it is a single family, and we are adding 2 other units.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, sorry. Makes sense.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, by right, they're allowed to add 3 units to a total of 3 units by right on single family properties.
Yes.
Anything over 3 units, I believe, has to be affordable. All right, on that note, any other questions for the representative?
Oh, no more question.
All right. Seeing there's no more discussion amongst the board, motion to close the floor for board discussion and motion to open the public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the application at 37 Kingston Street, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right, very good. Public commenting is now closed. In reviewing the documentation submitted for this application to date, we have the residential exemption. We have the certificate of good standing dated February 10th. We have a paid final water bill also dated February 10th. We have a quitclaim deed. We have a master deed, and we have a check in the amount of $600. At this time, the engineer architect report was insufficient and will need to be updated and provided at a future date. Does this, I guess at this time, a question for city staff, does this vote need to be conditioned on that additional documentation getting updated?
Yes, and I've let the applicants know that the property condition report was rejected. But it would be similar to any other preliminary permit, just conditioned on the submission of that.
Yeah, okay. Very good. All right, on that note, I will make a motion for the board to vote on the preliminary non-rental conversion permit for unit 1 at 37 Kingston Street on the condition that the engineer architect's report is updated and provided to city staff at a future date.
Okay, this is a vote for preliminary non-rental conversion permit for unit 1 at 37 Kingston Street, conditioned as Chair Zassoff just stated. Chair Zassoff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, as we move through the agenda, the next application in front of the board is the application of 1241 Broadway, application of Secondo Silvestri and Mariana Silvestri. And they're seeking a preliminary rental conversion permit for unit 1, unit 2, and unit 3, all located at 1241 Broadway.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Hi, good evening, board. How are you? My name is Jared Scarpesi. I'm from the law office of Jared Scarpesi. I'm representing Secondo Silvestri and Mariana Silvestri in the condo conversion permit for 1241 Broadway for 3 units. I submitted to the board the conversion application, excuse me. I paid final water bill, certificate of good standing, and a check for $1,800. Just a brief background from this. They've owned this since 2006. It's been vacant for about 2.5 years now. The reason for the vacancy was that they were just repairing the 2 units. The lease was up, the tenants moved out, so they decided to do some work just to the property. That's all I have for right now.
Okay. This time I will make a motion to open the floor for board discussion. Any comments or questions for the applicant?
Yeah, I just found something a little confusing, and so maybe you can clarify that for me. It said that the owners owned 82% of the property, and that then there were somebody else who owns 18% of the property.
Yes, that's the gentleman Secondo's sister and brother-in-law. They owned a portion of the property as well too, or 18%.
And what does that mean in terms of the conversion? And does that?
So it just means that everybody's going to have to. So when we do the master deed, everybody's on board. When we do the master deed and the declaration of trust, all parties will have to sign off on that. That's all.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
My question is just sometimes when we see a property that's been vacant for a long time and it's been vacant because there's work being done to it, the question is, is that work towards making it into condos, so.
No, it was more or less, so the prior tenants were in there for, I believe 4 years prior to that. After the lease goes up, the tenants end up vacating themselves. It wasn't like they were evicted or anything of that nature. And just, they were doing cosmetics, for the property, just small minor repairs, just to obviously keep up the property. Nothing in regards to condo conversion or anything of that nature, because they knew that they had to go through this process first.
Okay. And the tenants, did they just decided they wanted to go elsewhere, or were they not offered to renew just because?
No, they just went elsewhere. They didn't even, there was no discussion about any renewals at that point in time.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Any other questions from
Nope.
board members? All right, seeing no other questions, commentary, I will now motion to close the floor for board discussion and motion to open the floor for public commentary. Anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the preliminary rental conversion permit for units 1, 2, and 3 at 1241 Broadway, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right, thank you. Seeing there's no commentary from the public, motion to close the public commentary. In reviewing the application, there's no waiting period due to the vacancy for the past 2 years. We have the residential exemption in hand. We have a certificate of good standing dated January 29th. We have a final paid water bill. Actually, there was 0 balance, which would make sense with the property being vacant. We have the quitclaim deed, and we have a check in the amount of $1,800. At this time, the application is missing the master deed and engineer architecture report, which we will condition this vote on. So at this time, I will make a motion for
There's
the
Asaf.
Oh,
Sorry
yeah.
to interrupt, if I may. There is a waiting period because they're rental permits. Sorry that I just looked at the cover sheet. It looks a little confusing. It says that no notice was given. No notice was given, and that's because tenants aren't there. But there is a 1-year waiting period because it is it's a waiting period to the board.
Okay. All right, so we will rephrase the Okay. So on that note, just for the record, there is the 1 year waiting period that will go into effect. At this time, I will now make a motion for the board to vote on a preliminary rental conversion permit for units 1, 2, and 3 located at 1241 Broadway on the condition that the master deed and engineer's report are submitted to the city staff at a future date, along with the 1 year waiting period being adhered to.
Okay, this is a vote for preliminary rental conversion permits for units 1, 2, and 3 at 1241 Broadway, conditioned as Chair Zasloff just stated. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
All right, we are at the final application under the courtesy. We are at our final application this evening on tonight's agenda, and that is 56-58 Oliver Street. And that is the application of the 56-58 Oliver Street Condo Trust. And they are seeking a preliminary rental conversion permits for units 2 and 3 and a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for unit 1 at 56-58 Oliver Street. This, just when I thought I'd seen everything in my tenure on the board, we get a curveball where we get to see something that we haven't seen before. So units have been sold as condos in the last 10 years. Original seller had not received conversion permits, and the new individual owners are seeking to come in line with compliance with the condo ordinance. So do we have a representative?
If the representative for the application could please raise their hands, I can unmute you. I'm not, Chair Zasloff, I'm not seeing the person I've been in contact with. And I sent him an email about 15 minutes ago to see if he was going to be attending. Oh, but someone just raised their hands. 1 second. Ms. Pullman, you've been unmuted.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, if Max is not on the call, I can speak for the 56-58 Oliver Street Condo Trust. So as you mentioned, we're requesting an unpermitted condo conversion permit for units 1, 2, and 3. These were converted to condos back in 2013. And we are trying now to come into compliance. So we have for you our completed application, certificates of good standing from the city of Somerville, our master deed filed in April of 2013, all 3 individual ownership deeds, notice to the prior tenants, notice to the current tenants, and a check for $1,800.
Great. Thank you. At this time, I will now motion to open the floor for board discussion. Any board members have questions for the representative? I have one question. So obviously this is a unique situation, and you're in front of the board tonight to right the wrongs of previous developer. I guess the question is, the original engineer architect report that was with the building when you purchased these condos, is there a reason that was not submitted as part of the application process?
Chair Zasloff, if I may answer that.
Yeah.
When we added this sort of situation into the ordinance for allowing these unpermitted condos to come into compliance, we actually decided that a property condition report was not because they had already been converted and they'd already gone through whatever development process would have been necessary for the condos to be created. We decided that we were not going to require a property condition report when submitting this type of application.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that clarification. I have no further questions. If anyone else on the board, the floor is open.
Forgive me if I should know this. So just sort of as a governing, and this is sort of a question for Chair Zasloff and the city, if like they have to pay to come into compliance, like, but I feel bad, like we're basically making someone pay that shouldn't have had to pay as the buyers rather than the developer, like the fee and everything. So I mean, is there, like, there's no way for us as a body to go after the person who initially should have done this, right? It would be up to this party if they wanted to, in their private life, like do some lawsuit or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, is it? I just feel bad they're getting stuck with the 1800 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great call out, Board Member Solis, and I would, I would like to potentially ask city staff, is there the ability to waive that $1,800 for these units, since they're not developers and that cost should have been incurred by the original developer who built these units. I mean, I just feel bad that I'm honestly surprised that the banks financed this years ago.
So there's no mechanism within the ordinance for waiving these rights. The ordinance is actually in various different sections. It does say, fees are not refunded. So even if you were to apply and then decide against converting, we wouldn't refund the fees for that. The fees go to pay for all the costs incurred by processing these applications. I don't know if Attorney Thiel wants to add something, but I don't know, since the ordinance doesn't leave it at the discretion of the board.
Thank you. Yeah. So, Attorney Thiel Housing Counsel for the city. I do think Morena is correct that the ordinance doesn't contemplate a waiver of fees. If that is something that the board is interested in pursuing, and that's a priority of the board, what I would recommend is maybe putting this matter under advisement and letting us take a closer look at the ordinance and see if there is some argument that we can make on the board's behalf that this would be a permissible action. But unfortunately, just off the top of my head, because this is a little bit of a unique situation, I think Morena's general point is correct. But if that's a priority of the board, we can take a closer look.
Attorney Thiel, so if we were to, vote on this, we can vote on it, potentially approve it, and then under advisement that the $1,800 could potentially be refunded to these applicants, or is that how it would work?
What I would recommend is, yes, you can make that approval. What I think I would ask is, what I would recommend is that the waiver, even if it's a quick update at a subsequent meeting, that we just have the board approve staff recommendation on the waiver based off of that review. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Okay, so the floor is open for board discussion. I'm just curious what what my fellow colleagues on the board, where their head is around the permitting fees associated with this a decade later.
Yeah.
Vice Chair.
I'm totally with both of you that I think that this was you know, it's really feels very unfair to them that they should have to ante up money, this late in the game, when it wasn't, that it had nothing to do with them. So, you know, whatever we could do to provide relief, I would be in agreement with.
Board Member Solis, I know you had spoke earlier, if you could just.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that would be fine with me. And, you know, I know that the fees, I mean, the fees, you know, I know how they're spent, and it's not like I'm not saying like, let's just start waiving fees. I just feel bad that the party paying them in this case, like, if the developer had followed correctly, that it wouldn't have come out of the rep on the applicant's pocket. It would have come out of the developer or the buy or the seller's pocket 10 years ago. So I was just more wondering, I mean, I'm fine to look into refunding it or waiving it. Absolutely. Definitely, if that's what the group wants to do. But I was more wondering, like, is there a mechanism for us to get it from the source that was supposed to pay it?
I mean, personally, I think that's water under the bridge. I think you're
Gotcha. Okay.
right.
All right. Yeah.
You know, and where this is a very unique circumstance, I'm not advocating that we gain the rights to waive fees.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
you know, because this is such a unique circumstance, you know, I think, you know, this is an opportunity for the board to advise on potentially waiving the fees, allowing the city staff to look into it, and then provide a staff recommendation at a future meeting. You know.
Yeah, I'd be really happy with that. That'd be great. Yeah.
Board Member Simeon.
Well, what I can say is, if there are a way for the, you know, for the firm to reimburse directly without us to be involved really on that, because as we don't have the right to request for any reimbursement of the fee, and so if they can deal separately, that's something else.
Okay. Vice Chair Byrne, it's your hand. Would you like to speak again?
Yes, and I have another curiosity question, and that was, and that's for the owner, about how did you learn that these were not permitted? How did that come about?
Hi, we learned this summer when Unit 2 was considering selling their unit, and I don't know the details of the conversation, but she was having trouble with that because we didn't have the correct permits. So we discovered it over the summer, and we've been working together all the information we need and get this in to you.
Thank you.
That's, yeah, I mean, that's very interesting because two of the units have been sold twice and there was no.
Yeah, all 3 units have sold at least one time since the original conversion. And this is the first time that it's come up. Some of them have sold even twice.
Yeah, which kind of reaffirms, you know, my inclination to, under advisement, waive the fees and allow the city staff to determine whether that's feasible or not and provide a recommendation at a future meeting.
That would be great. Thank you for bringing that up.
So Chair Zaslow, I think that's great what you just said to make that recommendation. I also think maybe the separate condo ordinance review working group might want to just sort of add to their list of things that we do have units selling multiple times, and there doesn't seem to be a check and balance to see that the condo conversion permit was ever done. So maybe just add that to our list for like a future date of conversation.
Absolutely. All right. Any further questions for the applicant from the board? All right, seeing no further commentary from the board, motion to close the floor. Now motion to open the floor for public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the application of 56-58 Oliver Streets, units 1, 2, and 3.
I do have a hand.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Farley, you've been unmuted.
Thank you. Yes, I just wanted to add some further clarification. We're representing the Unit 2 owner, and there was a potential, excuse me, purchaser on that unit. And how this came to light was they just happened to be an attorney. And the attorney obviously is known for doing some due diligence. So he dug in, did some due diligence, and found out there was no certificate of occupancy on the unit. And then that's what opened this whole mess, if you will.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you for that clarifying commentary. That's beneficial. Is there anyone else in the public?
No, I don't see any of their hands.
All right. Motion to close the public commentary and reviewing the application. Obviously, they've submitted certificate of good standing, quitclaim deed, master deed. We have a check, or they have submitted a check for $1,800 to cover the 3 units in question. I am prepared to make a motion for the board to vote on a preliminary rental conversion permits for units 2 and unit 3, and a preliminary non-rental conversion permits for unit 1, all located at 56-58 Oliver Street. And I'd also like to include under the advisement that the board would like to see if the application, the $600 per unit fee could be waived in this instance, and if they could provide a staff recommendation at a future condo meeting.
Okay. This is a motion to vote for preliminary rental conversion permits for units 2 and 3 and a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for unit 1 at 56-58 Oliver Street, conditioned with the recommendation that Chair Zasloff just stated. Chair Zasloff?
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne?
Yes.
Board Member Simeon?
Yes, in the condition that you said it will be for the next, if we have a next issue like that. The advice is for if we have a next issue like that, for the advice. It's not to release on that one, not to waive that fee.
No, we are looking for advisement on whether the fee can be waived in this instance.
This one, or for the next issue, if we have a next step.
This particular application, we will be updated via staff recommendation at a future meeting on whether these application fees, $600 per unit, could be waived for these individuals that are in front of the board this evening.
My issue is, do we have the right to waive or to advise for the waive?
We do not have the right to waive. We have the right as a board to ask for advisement and allow the city staff to make that determination.
Okay. Yes.
Sorry, Board Member Simeon, was that a yes to the issuing of the permit, the motion?
Yes.
Okay. Board Member Solis?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening, folks. Moving along through the agenda, we have an executive session that will be taking place, and at this time, Morena, if you can conduct a updated roll call vote for the record for the executive session.
Okay, it's 6:54 p.m. The board is motioning to enter into executive session. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Present.
Board Member Simeon,
Present.
Board Member Solis.
Present.
Okay,
So at this time, we will log off and
I just, sorry, can I just make an observation? If I'm not mistaken, unless the law has changed recently, it's important to state on the record the purpose of the executive session. So you can just kind of read through the purpose, just to cover that issue.
Yep.
If you could. Yep.
The board will be going into an executive session here at 6:55 as a strategy discussion regarding the potential litigation concerning 29-29R Everett Avenue in Somerville in connection with failure to comply with board findings. It is now 6:55 and we will be moving to the executive session.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm hitting leave and then I'm opening the new executive session and going into that, right? Okay. Thanks.
I figured they're not gonna let us in on that.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's filling us full of crap. That's it? Yeah. Because this right here was just like any other.
Board Member Simeon and Board Member Byrne. Oh, Board Member Simeon, you've got to switch over to
the let me see.
to the other link.
Did I
Do
see?
you want me to resend it?
Yes, please, quickly.
Okay, I'll resend it. Okay, but you've got to log off of this one.
Oh, look off of this one. Yeah. Okay. It's logged off. It's actually on the same one.
Board Member Simeon, I just resent it.
Oh, you sent it. Yes, please. Thank you. Let me see if I can. It's not coming yet. Not yet. Not yet. Ooh, okay. I don't see that one yet.
It'll be coming from Paul Goldstein or the Affordable Housing Trust.
Okay. No, I'm still on the same one.
And it's going to your Gmail.
Yes, that's where I am right now. Okay, yes, the Gmail. Oops. Oops. Okay. Okay, now it's coming. Why it takes so long? Wow.
Okay, so you got it, Board Member Simeon?
Yes, I get it.
Okay, so you'll just have to log out of this one.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We are now returning to the regular condo review board meeting agenda dated Monday, February 24th. It is now 7:41 p.m. Morena, if you could please conduct a roll call vote to ensure we have a quorum.
Okay, Chair Zassoff,
Present.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Present.
Board Member Simeon. Board Member Simeon. Board Member Simeon may be just a bit delayed in relogging in. Board Member Solis.
Here, present.
Okay, but with 3 in attendance, we do have a quorum.
All right. So we've returned from our executive session in regards to potential litigation concerning 29-29R Everett Avenue in Somerville in connection with failure to comply with the board's previous findings. I am now prepared to make a motion for the record for the board to authorize the law department to commence civil actions with failure to commence civil action and with failure to comply with board's previous finding in regards to 29-29R Everett Avenue, Somerville.
Chair Zassoff, I would like to note that at 7:43, Board Member Simeon is now in attendance. And if I could just rephrase that just a little bit so that we match.
My pleasure.
So this is a motion to authorize the Somerville Law Department to commence civil action in connection with failure to comply with board findings at 29-29R Everett Avenue. Chair Zassoff?
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne?
Yes.
Board Member Simeon?
Yes.
Board Member Solis?
Yes.
The motion passes.
All right. Motion passes at 7:43. At this time, that concludes the agenda for this evening, and I am now, I will motion to adjourn this evening's meeting.
I second that motion.
All right. Everyone have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next
Thank
week.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.